Hi, my name is Layla, and I'm the owner and founder of godlybusinesswoman.com. There, I help godly businesswomen get clear on their purpose, on their message, and on their ideal audience to really help you scale or even start your business in only 4 steps. I can help you go from one-on-one presentations to speaking on stage. Now, in this series, I'm going to be looking at different biblical women and seeing things that we can learn to do, and then maybe some things that we can avoid. So, and first of all, the reason that I'm looking at biblical women is because the Bible is truth. The Bible is a word of God, and there's a lot that we can learn from how to carry ourselves in our faith, family, and business. So first, I'm going to launch with Proverbs 31. If you're not familiar with Proverbs 31, some Bibles refer to it as a virtuous wife. Some will call it the ultimate wife. So if you have your Bible, go ahead and open up to Proverbs. It's the last one, Proverbs 31. If you don't have a Bible, that's fine. You can just listen along with me, or you can also download a Bible. There's YouVersion Bible app. There's a Blue Word Bible. I really like that one because you can get the translations in either Greek or Hebrew. Proverbs 31 is written from the perspective of King Lemuel's mother, who's giving advice to her son. And at first, she starts with, what my son of my womb, what my son of my vows, do not give your strength to women, nor your ways to that which destroy kings. So at first, she's starting to give him advice. She tells him not to get drunk. Drunk is really for people that want to just forget their woes, forget their poverty, remember their misery no more. So no excessive alcohol. And that's not something that's just common to Proverbs 31. We hear that throughout the Bible. There's no talk against drinking, but against drunkenness. But I'm going to skip to the good part, which is the virtuous wife. Who can find a virtuous wife? For her worth is far above rubies. Now, in those times, rubies were considered the most precious of all the gemstones. And then it says, the heart of her husband safely trusts her, so he will have no lack of gain. So she's very trustworthy. He trusts her completely. And because of that, she doesn't bring him any evil. It even continues. She brings him good, not evil. So she is somebody that he can completely trust. All the days of her life, she seeks wool and flax and willingly works with her hands. Okay. Now, so the first part, it begins with how she is to him. So she's very trustworthy. She brings him good. She doesn't bring him evil. Now it starts into her, I would say, the business mind of her. She willingly works with her hands. She's like the merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. She also rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. So she's like merchant ships. She brings her food from afar. So this tells us that she's industrious. She might shop around for the best quality of foods or merchandise that she can buy. She's out there seeking and looking for what she wants. She doesn't just get the first thing that comes across. She seems to be someone that really takes care into what she wants to bring into her household. And then she says she provides food for her household and a portion for her maidservants. Now, this also tells us that she's wealthy and that she does have help. Okay. So it's going to go a little bit more into her investing now. She considers a field and buys it. From her profits, she plants a vineyard. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. She perceives that the merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. Okay. So she considers a field. This also means that she's studying. She might be asking the right questions. She's thinking wisely what she should do with her money. She doesn't just buy the first field that comes across her. She's considering it. She's shopping around. She's being wise with her money before she makes her initial purchase. And then from her profits, she plants a vineyard. So she buys land, plants a vineyard because she has vision. because she wants to multiply her earnings. She wants to multiply and create wealth for herself and her family. She girds herself with strength and strengthens her arms. So she also cares about being strong physically. Also, mentally, she's strong, and we're going to cover that in just a moment. She perceives that her merchandise is good and her lamp does not go out by night. So if you think about her running her entire household, she's buying good quality merchandise. She's buying good quality food. Her lamp does not go out by night. That means she's, sort of keeping track of things in her house and making sure that her house is lit throughout the night. In our modern day, we're paying the electric bill. We're keeping things going in our house. We're keeping things running in our house. Food is not running out in our house. Or batteries are not. We have batteries. We have things to maintain our household. She stretches out her hands to the distaff and her hand holds the spindle. So she's not afraid of hard work. That means she's going out there, she's knitting, she's creating clothes or quilts or blankets, but she herself is doing it. She herself is holding the distaff and she's doing, using the spindle. That means she's working hard, she's productive, and she has strength because it's, I'm sure, physically tiring to do all of that by hand. So I want to remind you, though, that she is wealthy. So sometimes people might think, oh, well, of course she's working with her hands. She has to. No, she's wealthy. She has staff, and she is still working with her hands. She extends her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches out her hands to the needy. So she's maintaining her house, she's investing, she's multiplying, but she's also extending her hand to the poor. It doesn't say that she's just giving money, but she's probably helping them. She might be going out, being with them and giving them food, giving them money, but maybe helping the needy. She also has an abundance to be able to give. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all of her household is clothed with scarlet. She probably doesn't have scarcity mentality. Now, I'm a widow. I'm a single mom with now they're 4-year-old twins, but they were born two or 3 days before the 2-week lockdown. So their first year of life was really during the whole pandemic. And then at 11 and a half months old, that's when my husband passed away. So I got into the rabbit hole. I'm looking at everything that's going on. I'm thinking electricity is going to get shut off. Food's going to run out. It's going to be mayhem because that's really what we were hearing. And then my husband passes away. Now I'm a single mom with 11 and a half month old twins. So was I afraid? Yes, I was afraid. I was afraid of the snow. I was afraid of the rain. I was afraid of, running out of food or not being able to protect my daughters, all of these things. And then I really had to focus on what God says. And God says to focus on things that are good. So I had to, stop listening to a lot of the media, a lot of the social media, and just turn all of that off. And then really focus on listening to God's word and what God says for us. So when you hear of this woman, she has help, she has money, she's wise with her money, she maintains her household, she's not afraid to work hard. So think about the mindset of that woman. She probably also has a lot of faith in God and God protecting her and her household. And so that's what I really had to do. I had to shift my scarcity mindset, my fear of being a widow with these young little girls, and really put my faith in God that He was going to protect us, that He was going to guide me, that He's going to give me wisdom, not only in continuing my business. I've been in the financial services industry for the last 10 years, but also in my mothering and my parenting. There's been times when my girls I didn't know how to handle them. And I would just say a little prayer, God, give me wisdom, help me in parenting them. And then an answer would come to me. And that would be the exact thing that I needed to say or do to help my daughters get along and help them figure out, whatever little obstacle they were going over. So let's continue now in verse 22, it says, she makes tapestry for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Purple. That's another indication that she's wealthy. Back in those times, only wealthy or royalty were able to wear clothes that were dyed with the color purple, or home furnishings that were dyed with the color purple. So her clothing is fine linen and purple. Now, a side note, actually, I forgot to mention this at the very beginning. When I am going through Proverbs 31, this isn't meant to be for you to think, well, darn, I sure lack. I'm not doing, all of these things, this checklist. So don't look at it as a checklist for this is what I have to do. I have to start investing. I have to start running a business. I have to start doing this and my strength and this. Okay. First of all, she willingly did all of these things. Okay. So I think when we have the mindset of what's possible for us, not what we have to do, it changes things. I personally do run a business and I enjoy it. I like to run a business. I coach godly women. I help people with financial services. On top of that, I'm raising my daughters. So I kind of look at it like I'm a stay-at-home mom at the same time that I'm a working mom. So when I read Proverbs 31, it actually excites me. It encourages me. It lets me know that this is what God sees for women, for what's possible for women. And so when I read this, I want you to look at it from a perspective of inspiration for what's possible for you and what you could do with maybe just a little bit of organization and vision. Okay. Now, her husband is known in the gates when he sits among the elders of the land. So her husband is important, and he's probably also a godly man. She makes linen garments and sells them. This is beautiful because sometimes we women think, I'm not a business person. I can't sell. She's just making linen garments and she's selling them. I know a woman who has a Cricut and she makes stickers and she sells them on Etsy. And she makes a few $1,000s a month selling stickers. And I know, actually, when my husband passed away, I learned how to make perfume for fun, like essential oils. My little girls wear them every single day. They pick the little floral perfume, their citrus perfume. I learned how to balance all the notes, and I just learned how to make perfume for fun. I learned how to make soap for fun. And then at that time, I just gave them as gifts. I also created planners and I've written books. So I guarantee that you have skills, you have knowledge, you have wisdom, and you might have things. There's even people that buy things at yard sales and flip them and make money off of eBay. Right now, I guarantee if you really think about it, there is a way for you to make money. And then it says, and supplies sashes for the merchants, strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is a law of kindness. So she is a kind woman. She has wisdom. She speaks kindly. Now, if you're a mom, okay, I know it can be difficult to be a mom. You have your kids, and we really need wisdom to be able to parent because nobody gives us a handbook. I've never been a mom before. Now all of a sudden I have twins. And then on top of that, I'm a widow. So I really rely on God a lot to help me. And learning to speak life over them, which sometimes when at the very beginning I was stressed, grieving over my husband, then I've got my babies, but being able to communicate what I want to communicate to them in a way that's loving, but disciplined and also direct, and encourages them to do what I need them to do. And honestly, I'm really proud of my girls. I mean, I can bring them to a public, they see me public speak. They stay quietly and just wait for me. They come to my business appointments. They make their own bed. I'm not trying to be braggadocious, well, maybe a little bit because I'm proud of them. But I mean, all of this is really reliant on God to really get me through. She watches over the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. That is what I really hope to have happen. When I'm an old little lady and my daughters grow up, I want them to feel blessed that they had me as a mom. I really want to pass on the values of entrepreneurship, of business, of being industrious, because they can, because God gives us the ability to do so. Even starting from Eve, God created Eve as a helper for Adam. God didn't say, you're only going to help him in the household, or you're only going to help him in this. He just said, she is the helper to him. So that means that if you can make some money on the side, it doesn't have to be a full-on business. But of course, if you want to create a full-on business, I can even coach you and I can help you on that. I can help you build a business around your schedule from home, especially now with Zoom. It's really quite easy to build a business. I can teach you how to find clients wherever you go. It's really possible for us to run businesses, to make additional income, and to manage our household. Now, okay, many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. Man, charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. What does that tell us? We live in this society that is telling women to get this plastic surgery, get this plastic surgery. And by the way, if you have plastic surgery, that's fine. I color my hair. I wear lipstick. I wear makeup. So I'm not saying anything against that. But what it says here is a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. So according to God, that is what matters. And we know that because God looks at the heart of a person. So we already know that God looks at the heart of us. He's not focused on what we look like externally. But if you really see the value in you that is fearing the Lord, that is what's to be praised. That is what's long lasting. Now, I want to touch about this one topic, okay? We always hear in Christianity that people say, oh, submit to your husband, or other people that are not really Christian talk negatively about that. Oh, you guys have to, bow down to your husband, independent woman. By the way, I used to be a very independent, liberal woman. I was atheist for most of my life. So I had that same ideology too. I'm not going to submit to my husband. I'm an independent woman. Well, first of all, the Bible does say, submit to your own husbands as to the Lord, but it also instructs husbands, love your wives just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. So if a man really understands that Christ sacrificed his life's blood for the church, he is going to love his wife sacrificially. He's going to honor her. He's going to respect her. He's going to protect her. He's going to love her, and he's going to cherish her. So he's never going to do anything that's going to harm her or demean her. So if you have a husband that loves the Lord, that fears the Lord, that is truly following the Lord, then you're going to naturally trust him when it's time to make decisions, right? It's in the same way that I'm leading this household and I'm being led by God. So if I tell my daughters, do this or don't do that, it's coming from a place of love, not coming from a place where I just want to hold them down. I want to protect them. I'm here to, give them a secure life and to show them love. So that's where it's coming from. So if you have a husband that's really following the ways of the Lord, then if he says, hey, babe, I think that we should do things this way, you're going to trust him and you're going to submit to him. And naturally, that's going to happen. Problem is, and by the way, I'm speaking for myself because I was atheist most of my life, I dated non-godly men. but then I wasn't godly either. So a non-godly person isn't going to lead another godly person. I'm not going to submit to a man that's not godly. And it wasn't until I came to Christ during my marriage that I started to really switch my perspective. And it was even natural for me to be able to switch that perspective. So the Christian ideal of marriage is he's not authoritative, he's not chauvinistic. That's not what it is. In the contrary, most other religions look at women inferior to men. But you just read here in Proverbs 31, her worth is far above rubies. Because she praises the Lord, because she fears the Lord, she should be praised. So just based on Proverbs 31, I would say that women are capable of a lot. And God really made us to be able to be capable of a lot. So I really hope that this blessed you. I hope that it encouraged you. And if you want to either start a business or scale your business, or if you want, I have courses on sales. I have courses on meeting clients wherever you go. Those are free. You can go through those courses and really learn how to build a business. I encourage you, if you think about all the skills that you have, think about all the wisdom that you have. What are you really good at? There's a way for you, if you want, to start a business on the side and make additional income. And then if you have children, do it with your kids. Teach your kids entrepreneurship. Teach your kids sales. When it comes to investing, there's really ways to invest, to grow your money where it's safe, where you can still grow. You can also check out my website. You can request a free financial consultation. I help you get a vision for your finances. There's financial journals there that you can start tracking your finances on a regular basis. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me, Godly Businesswoman, on all my social medias, or you can email me, contact@godlybusinesswoman.com. Have a great day. Thanks.